The mental gymnastics that the partisan pundits perform to appeal to their audience. Despite what right-leaning media would have you believe, the Hunter Biden gun case was every bit as thin as the Trump hush money case. The president's son was charged with 2 counts related to false statements in purchasing a firearm and a 3rd count of illegally obtaining a firearm while addicted to drugs. He purchased a Colt Cobra 38 SPL revolver, speed loader, a firearm accessory, and 25 rounds of ammo from a Wilmington, Delaware gun store. He filled out a federal form. He checked the box saying he wasn't abusing drugs, and the government successfully argued that he knew it wasn't true. But it was just as rare a prosecution as the one against Trump. There has never been another criminal prosecution ever of someone just for lying about drug use on a gun form where there was just one gun, the gun was not used in a crime, there was no other crime committed with it, and where the person had no criminal record. Not one case. And given all those facts, you had voices on the left insisting that Hunter got the short end of the stick.
The president's son, Hunter Biden, not being treated the same as everyone else, in many ways being treated worse.
One could argue Hunter Biden is being treated worse than your average citizen, given how rare a charge like this is.
And I think it's certain, for whatever reason, that Hunter was treated way more severely than another defendant with the same facts.
Fair takes, which I agree with. But again, here are the exact same people talking very differently about the Trump case.
The criminal legal system worked. Trump finally experienced equal justice under the law, and that's rocking his world.
Thank God for the state of New York, Donald Trump's home state. The system actually worked.
Miracle is too strong a word, but a day for celebration.
Yeah, it's always equal justice under the law on the case that they like, and on the case they don't like, this is just preposterous. Look, I've been consistent on this from day one. I thought both cases shouldn't have been brought. I thought both cases wouldn't have been brought if the defendants' names weren't Trump and Biden. And I think both were probably technically guilty. At the end of the day, the evidence was presented, the testimony was given, the jury verdicts were rendered, and in both cases. And that's the point that shouldn't get lost here. Because there have been so many attacks on the justice system and on the institutions of justice on both sides. And those attacks can be dangerous because we do need to retain our faith in the legal system. And both the Trump trial and the Hunter Biden trial were ultimately decided not by a politicized prosecutor or a biased judge or a corrupt administration, but by juries of 12 average citizens. And jurors take their jobs seriously. They carefully consider the evidence. They bring back a verdict. Here's one of the jurors from the Hunter Biden trial earlier this week.
Out of all the jurors, nobody ever mentioned anything about political motivation. So we don't think, when we heard the evidence, when we deliberated, we weren't thinking anything about being politically motivated.
There are a lot of cases where I think prosecutors maybe shouldn't have brought the case. But that also doesn't mean the defendant is not guilty of the technical crime. It is vital that we respect the juries, we respect the jury system, and that we be intellectually honest, because these days, all of that seems to be in very short supply among partisans on both sides. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.